Now from the great state of Illinois, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the second city of Chicago. But tonight we kick off Week 6 with a great Thursday night matchup, as it'll be our visitors taking on our home team. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. On the visiting sideline, their head coach. His guys with 3 straight losses now following that 1-1 start. On the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys ready to feed off the energy in this building. Just about set for a start. Happy to have you with us, and we are underway here on Thursday Night Primetime. Nifty move. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive. That's about all he did, right? Yeah. 3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The numbers for him from a week ago, 21 carries, 95 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 14 yards and a Chicago first down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go music cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And he's got his man in stride, complete. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. On the ground, it's the rookie from Tennessee. Evades him at the 10. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Extra point forthcoming. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two for him.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. It's a quarterback sneak. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. 2 yards is the pickup, and it'll be a Chicago first down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. And there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And a throw right sideline is complete. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. They're going to run this with a tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. During that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. 2nd and 6. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And they'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
First down, Chicago.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Back to throw here. Still going inside the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. They'll look to throw here. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The home team's offense and their quarterback coming out for their 2nd drive. I mean, he's been solid here in the early part of the season, currently ranked in the top 5 amongst NFL quarterbacks in passing yardage. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy
easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much.
A big play there with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And his guys have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after getting up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for the in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down.
When you look at this defense,
they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. On the ground with a tight end. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 2.
Now the first carry here for the running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. They'll go with a keeper.
And he's going to be touched down right at the line of scrimmage.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The home team's offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And he's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 5.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So they bring out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. We take a look at the league leaders in receiving touchdowns out of the backfield. And his numbers are superior to the rest of his peers at this point in the season.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Now 2nd and 9.
On play action, they'll throw.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll try and run this one right up the gut.
And they'll get this down to the 48-yard line.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. He'll look to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
37-yard line. 1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground.
137 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
first down. They'll go to the ground attack. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
So his big first half continues. His 3rd touchdown already. We'll have to keep watch as this game goes along, how much they want to continue to ride him, because he could be on his way to a record-setting performance.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
2nd and 11. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Here's a 2nd and 5. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And it's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
A Chicago 1st down there on a gain of 11.
1st down, Chicago.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Short completion, just 4 yards. 3rd and 7 now. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. They're going to look to throw.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And this one is right down the middle. And that'll make this an 8-point game.
So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him, in with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
The Chicago offense set to get started. And with an 8-point lead, probably not too much of an impetus to try and do too much here.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he hits him in stride. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. This time they'll just keep this on the ground. And they'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Right back to him on first down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you. The rain, maybe not quite as heavy as it was earlier, but still coming down pretty good as we prepare for the second half.
Gets past one man.
And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
And a nice job there skipping away from the one tackle and ends up getting 5 yards out of that. Second down.
2nd and 5.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground.
Across midfield. He's on his way.
Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And his guy's now just a 2-point conversion away from tying us up. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly. Right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
They'll look to throw. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
A third quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe first or second, you don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to, I don't like to chase a lot of points.
Yeah.
But I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. A huge play there for Chicago. 57 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah,
nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Well, it looks like one of the DBs has it.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go.
Looking to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll set up to throw. And he will find his man on the outside.
From the 46, here's 2nd and a yard.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
They'll try and sneak it here. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. 1st down.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the 1st down.
And as we say often, it shows confidence in your offensive line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. They'll drop to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 30-yard line, 2nd and 12. They'll look to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. In motion, the tight end.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now a handoff running through the middle. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
44 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
It's a gain of 17 yards. 1st down, Chicago.
He finds his way into the secondary again on this drive. They might want to try getting him down a little closer to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, what do they call that? 3rd level run. 1st level being the D-line and linebacker 2nd level, and the secondary the 3rd. When you block it up well, you make the secondary do all the tackling. That will wear on a defense.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
I really like what he did there because he took his practice work and converted it to game action because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
Looking middle, and that's complete. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Now back to throw. That is caught. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give them 25 yards.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep with the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. 2nd and 14. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. And this one is right through. And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ballgame.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 9.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
He'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Fighting through it, he's got space.
Inside the 10.
Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. 61 yards. As his guys are able to extend their lead.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started. There's still plenty of time here in the 4th quarter. Just a 1-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 37-yard line.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 174 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
2nd and 9 now. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
Over the middle, it's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
And that's a much-needed 1st down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15.
It's a gain of 5.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
Here we go on 4th down. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. They come up short here on 4th down. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. Well, they knew who to turn to on 4th down. Their horse, they needed the short yardage. He just couldn't get it.
And that's a surprise because normally that's bread and butter for them, right? Hand it to the big guy, let him go, pick up the 1st down. Didn't get it there. All credit to the defense. Usually, even if they know he's coming, he can't be stopped, and they got it done on that play.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Can't get away, and he's taken down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. 3rd and 4, and this crowd urging on their defense. They're up and making noise. Back to throw here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
1st and 10 at the 37.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he is going to lose yardage here. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They'll look to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 3.
They'll set up a throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Able to slither by. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. He'll look to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Now here's a timeout coming on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They'll try to run this one in. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. And now whistles blow here. Play has stopped, and we're going to get a timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
Looking to put a drive together. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and just a couple.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 34-yard line.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Inside the 10.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So a 4th quarter pick 6 here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner, and I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick 6, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
A try here for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. The home team's offense and their wideout getting set to go once more. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game.
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12. At the
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. 76 yards. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
So down a couple scores, only one timeout left. You figure they have to get this one. And the hands team does its job. They're able to secure it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
Another run on second down, trying to cover up.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. And it brings up third down.
And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. That'll bring up fourth. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Chicago, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.